Hey everybody, this is Geneva of Geneva's Closet Talk Show. Please make sure you like and share this video and subscribe to Geneva's Closet if you haven't already done so right here on YouTube. And you can follow me on Facebook at Geneva's Closet. And you can email me at genevascloset22@gmail.com. Now, let's get into the news.
Tonight, there is growing outrage in Fort Worth, Texas, over the deadly shooting of a black woman in her own home by a white police officer. Well, today the officer resigned before officials could fire him. Omar Villafranca now with new details in the case and reaction from the victim's family.
Interim Fort Worth Police Chief Ed Kraus said there was nothing on Officer Aaron Dean's body camera video that justified shooting through a window and killing ATATIANA Jefferson.
Nobody looked at that video and said there's any doubt that this officer acted inappropriately.
Kraus said Officer Dean resigned this morning and is not cooperating with investigators.
Had the officer not resigned, I would have fired him for violations of several policies, including our use of force policy.
Well, the front doors have been open since 10 o'clock.
It all started early Saturday morning when a neighbor called a non-emergency police number after he saw doors open at Jefferson's house. 28-year-old ATATIANA Jefferson was home playing video games with her 8-year-old nephew. The body cam video shows officers responding. They never identify themselves. Guns are drawn, and just seconds after Officer Dean spots Jefferson through her window, he fires the fatal shot.
Put your hands up! Show me your hands!
There's nothing to console me why he did what he did.
Darius Carr is Jefferson's brother.
It's murder. Through a window, she didn't have a gun in her hand. She was malice or coming at you any crazy. She opened a window and you shot her.
Dean was on the force for a year and a half. He could still face criminal charges for what happened here at this house, and the case has been referred to the FBI for possible civil rights violations. Nora?
This is coming from CBS News, and it says a former Fort Worth police officer who resigned Monday after fatally shooting a black woman in her home has been booked in jail for murder, according to inmate records on the Tarrant County Corrections Center website. Aaron Dean, who is white, fatally shot 28-year-old ATATIANA Jefferson early Saturday morning as she played video games with her nephew. The Fort Worth Police Department said the officers responded at about 2:25 a.m. Saturday after a neighbor called a non-emergency line to report that Jefferson's home front door had been left open. The department added that officers saw someone near a window inside the home and that one of them fired after perceiving a threat. At a news conference on Monday, Police Chief Edwin Cross announced that Dean had resigned and apologized for Jefferson's death. Cross said he intended to fire the officer Monday for violations of the department's use of force and de-escalation policies. Nobody looked at that video and said there's any doubt this officer acted inappropriately, Cross said. I get it. We're trying to train our officers better. We're trying to shore up our policies, trying to ensure they act and react the way the citizens intend them to, that they act and react with a servant's heart instead of a warrior's heart. Earlier in the day, Jefferson's family demanded justice. Why this man is not in handcuffs is a source of continued agitation for this family and for this community, said family attorney Lee Merritt. She was enjoying a life in her home where no one would have expected her life to be in harm's way, especially not at the hands of a civil servant who has taken an oath to serve and protect, said Jefferson's sister Ashley Carr. Dean was hired by the department in 2017 and had been an officer since 2018. Cross said he had been involved in a traffic accident but had no other previous disciplinary incidents on his records. Responding to a reporter's question about how the incident affects trust between the police department and the community, Cross said, I get it, and said reform efforts are underway. No, No, y'all don't get it. An independent police monitor and a third-party panel of experts are being brought in to review the police department, an effort that was underway before Jefferson's death, according to the city manager. Jefferson had moved into her mother's home because her mother had been in failing health and was recently hospitalized, the family said. She often helped care for her young nephews, including 8-year-old Zion. Merritt said Jefferson stayed up late playing video games with the boy and had lost track of time when they heard noise outside her bedroom window. Police said the officers didn't park their marked vehicles in front of the home, instead parking nearby and walking to the home. Merritt said the officers passed 2 open doors and never announced themselves, instead prowling and whispering outside. According to Merritt, the child said his aunt wouldn't let him go to the window to investigate, instead going herself. That's when he saw her fall to the ground. I asked myself what would have happened if that little boy went to the window instead of the aunt, Merritt said. A single bullet hole was visible in the window of the single-story, freshly painted purple home, and floral tributes and stuffed animals piled up in the street outside. Fort Worth is about 30 miles of Dallas, where another high-profile police shooting occurred last year. In that case, white Dallas police officer, y'all know who I'm about to say, Amber Geiger, fatally shot her black neighbor, Botham John, inside his own apartment after Geiger said she mistook it for her own. Geiger, 31, was sentenced this month to 10 years in jail. The body cam video included blurred still frames showing a gun inside the home. It's unclear if the firearm was found near Jefferson, and police have not said that the officer who shot her thought she was holding a gun. Merritt blasted the police department for releasing the image, which he said was legally owned by Jefferson, who had a concealed carry permit. He said the firearm is unrelated to the Jefferson's death and accused the department of attempting to blame the victim by circulating the image. Speaking Monday, Fort Worth Mayor Betsy Price called the firearm irrelevant. Come on, girl. A gun is irrelevant. ATATIANA was in her own home caring for her 8-year-old nephew, Price said. She was a victim, and she was taken from her family in circumstances that are truly unthinkable. Price also apologized to Jefferson's family and called for the community to support them. Cross said he now regrets releasing the image of the firearm. He said the department released a photo to show there was a weapon involved. Okay, man. However, we're homeowners in the state of Texas. I can't imagine most of us, if we thought we had somebody outside our house who shouldn't be, and we had access to a firearm, that we wouldn't act very similar to how she acted. Cross could not say whether the woman was holding the gun. He said it was located just inside the window.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Ashley Carr. I was ATATIANA Jefferson's oldest sister. I'm here to read a statement from the family so that we can all be on one accord. An arc of a moral universe is a long one, but it bends towards justice. Martin Luther King. Our family first would like to thank the thousands who called, who sent messages, who reached out via social media, offering words of encouragement and condolences. We appreciate your powerful solitude with us as we go through this unbelievable time of shock and sorrow. Secondly, our family would like you to know more about this beautiful soul, ATATIANA Jefferson. She was a smart, ambitious, kind person with a nurturing spirit. She was a graduate of Xavier University with a Bachelor's of Science degree in mathematics, that's me, in biology, and was committed to furthering her education. She was a hard worker, where her co-workers saw her as a person of full integrity. She loved her family so much that at the age of 28, she decided to move into our mother's home to help her as her health was declining. Honor, integrity, commitment, and service. These are the attributes of ATATIANA Jefferson. Any parent will be proud to call her a daughter. Any sibling will be proud to call her a sister. Any employer will be proud to call her an employee. Any neighborhood would be proud to have her as a neighbor. And any city would be proud to have her as a citizen. And yet, in the early mornings of October 11, 2019, she was simply going on along with her life, living a law-abiding citizen's peaceful life, and she was killed by a reckless act of a Fort Worth police officer. There is simply no justification for his actions. She was enjoying a life in her home where no one would have expected it to be her life to be in harm's way, especially not at the hands of a civil servant who had taken the oath to serve and protect. Our family now is asking the city of Fort Worth to exhibit the same characteristics of ATATIANA Jefferson, to be honorable when it comes to narrating the memory of this beautiful soul, to have integrity and bring the federal government in to investigate, to be committed to a swift and appropriate prosecution. Serve the entire community of Fort Worth by training your officers to execute responses to appropriate situations. In closing, we demand justice for ATATIANA through an independent, thorough, and transparent process. The family of ATATIANA Jefferson and the world eagerly awaits your response to this tragedy. It is imperative that your response bends towards justice. Thank you.
I would like to know how you all feel about this situation, and while you are letting me know, could you please like and share this video and subscribe to Genevas Closet if you haven't already done so right here on YouTube. And you can follow me on Facebook at Genevas Closet, and you can email me at genevascloset22@gmail.com. You all have a fabulous day, and I will talk to you later. Bye.